Quilters, welcome to AccuQuilt Live. I'm Pam Heller, AccuQuilt's cutting expert. Thanks so much for joining us today. Emily's in the house. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great. It's a short week this week.
It is a short week this week.
Really
Did you have a nice weekend?
I did. We had a little family reunion down in Kansas City. Saw my mom's side of the family. It was great. It was really fun.
Very nice. Yeah. Good to have you back. Good to have you back. All right, so where is everyone watching from? Teresa is watching from Ohio. I love Ohio. And Martha's watching from very warm southeastern Pennsylvania.
Ooh,
I do love Pennsylvania. And Jeannie's watching from Crowley. So thanks for watching with us today. All right, here's some new projects from today's countdown video. First, we have Diane M. and this creative quilt using squares and circles.
So cool.
Isn't that so fun?
Yes.
So a variety of, I love that she just used a whole bunch of scrap fabric to make her circles.
Yeah.
And then just basic 4 patches. That's really cute.
Yeah, really interesting.
Next is Fabric and Thread on Instagram. So can you tell us what shape do you think that is, Emily?
Okay, aren't those like a bunch of flying geese? Kind of.
They are exactly a bunch of flying geese.
Juxtaposed in all sorts of funky ways. I love it.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And I like that she used sashing in between.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Gorgeous.
And last, let's take a look at this wonderful tumbler quilt by Quilts from Vicky on Instagram.
Aww.
And Vicky, okay, first of all, it's so cute for patriotic for, you know, Memorial Day or for 4th of July, right?
Absolutely.
But she used a bias binding on her project, and we're going to talk about that today.
Awesome.
All right, Quilters, today's show is all about summer weddings and using the Go Double Wedding Ring die. Now is the time to start your projects. If you have summer or late summer or early fall projects and you want to make a double wedding ring, now's the time. So here is my photo of the day. I don't think Emily has seen this. So this is Ray and I 37 years ago.
Oh my God.
We got married. I know, a long time ago.
Such a sweet photo.
Oh, thank you. It was a fun day. And you can tell I got married in the 80s because I'm wearing a hat.
Love that.
That was a big thing in the 80s.
Yes.
So the question of the day is, do you have an upcoming wedding? So Emily, do you have any upcoming weddings this summer?
I don't yet this summer, but you know, the wedding season's long.
Yes, it is. We have a wedding at the end of summer.
Okay.
And then Chelsea Graphics, who does our graphics, she and Scotty are getting married in the early fall.
Aww.
And then Christina, who used to be here with us, she's also getting married in the early fall. So
exciting.
yeah, so not very many in the summer. So in the comment section, do you have any upcoming weddings? Today we're gonna make the Go Double Wedding Ring wall hanging. And it is a free downloadable pattern from AccuQuilt.com. Quilters, you wanna read all of the instructions, okay? And we'll talk about the double wedding ring die and the different versions we have of it, but make sure you read all the instructions. Okay, did you watch our show yesterday? We brought back the Go Emojis die. And today is National Say Something Nice Day. Look at that.
Aww.
So we have 3 bundles available to help you put a smile on someone's face, including the Go Emojis mask bundle, eye mask bundle. So this has the Go Emojis die and the Go eye mask die, a 6x12 cutting mat, and the emojis embroidery designs. So get yours today to help quilts and projects express themselves. Did you watch the show? I knew you were traveling yesterday. Did you see it at all? Eric and I had so much fun making emojis.
Yeah, you guys looked like you were having a blast.
Yeah, and it just kind of snowballed, right? It was like, oh. And the guys in the studio were making emoji faces before the show.
Fun.
Yeah, kind of fun. All right, today, guys meaning Brock. Today I'm giving away one of our Go Double Wedding Ring dies. Be sure and register for future events on the AccuQuilt event page for your chance to win. By registering, you receive event emails, and that way you'll never miss an exciting tutorial. Emily is going to announce the winner of our registered viewer at the end of today's show. I'm really excited about it. Okay, fun fact. On Tuesdays, we have trivia. On Wednesdays, we just have fun. Fun fact of the day is, did you know that in the 1930s, the double wedding ring pattern was one of the top 3 most popular quilt patterns. Did you know that?
Really?
When Joe and I went to Paducah, I have a quilt that is Grandmother's Flower Garden,
Okay.
which is English paper piecing. And the gal who did the assessment of it to, for insurance purposes,
Sure.
what is she called when she does that? The
Appraiser.
appraiser. Thank you. I was trying to think of the word. She told us there were 3 patterns: double wedding ring, and Grandmother's Flower Garden, and Hunter Star.
Okay.
The 3 most popular.
Wow.
And with the Go Double Wedding Ring die, you're able to cut all of the pieces you need for your block in just one pass through the cutter, okay? So let's look at it. Now, before we talk about this die, let me talk about the different kinds of double wedding ring dies that we have at AccuQuilt. So the Go version is a 2-die set, which is what we're gonna talk about today, okay? We also have a Go Big version, all right? So if you have the Go Big, you can get the Go Big double wedding ring. So walk with me behind here. Ooh, don't show my feet because I'm barefoot, okay? So this is the Go Big version. And this one is great because, first of all, it's 1930s replica fabric, but this is a solid arc, okay? And I'm gonna show you how to make a pieced arc. But with the Go Big and the Go versions, you have the option to either make this arc pieced or solid, okay? And then look right here, this binding right here, this is what we call a bias binding, Emily. It's, you cut it on the bias, and then it allows the binding to stretch and form over curve.
Wow.
So the one behind Emily is also the Go Big, but it is pieced, which is what we're gonna do today. And isn't that pretty? It's so patriotic.
Love it.
I just really think it's fun, okay? So now the arcs are pieced. And it also has a bias binding, which is truly, if you're gonna make it, you wanna do that, okay? All right, so let me show you this die. I'll hold it up here. Justin, just give me a sec. I have sticky notes, so I don't forget, okay? All right, so this is the 2-die set for the Go version, all right? So if you have a machine with a handle, you can still get the double wedding ring. So this right here, this is that solid arc, and these are the shapes you need to make the pieced arc, which is what we're gonna show you how to do today. This little melon shape in the middle is always just gonna be solid, okay? So that's one of the dies. The next die is this shape, which is shape A, which is the center of the block, okay? And again, this is gonna be solid. So keep in mind, quilters, I think this is the only 2-die set I own. But keep in mind, you need both dies to make the block.
Absolutely.
Okay? And the shapes are on a 10 by 10 die board, so make sure that you have a 10 by 10 cutting mat. Emily, what happens if you try to use, I feel like quilters sometimes think, oh, I can use my big 10 by 24 mat. Do you know what happens?
Yeah, it's just gonna slide and shimmy as it goes through the cutter, and you're gonna be really cranky when it comes out.
Yeah, it's gonna move that fabric.
Yeah,
so make sure you get a 10 by 10 mat. Now, the pattern that we talked about only has 4 blocks, which is perfect if you're just getting started to use this die, okay? And I'm gonna tell you, last week when I was working on this, I was a little nervous because I had never made a double wedding ring pieced quilt block. And I thought, oh my goodness. And I went through all the pieces and I read the instructions and I made a test block. And guess what? Ta-da, it works. And now I feel like I'm a double wedding rock star, okay? So I'm gonna tell you to do exactly what I want to do, that I'm gonna do today, and you will find that you're gonna be able to piece this together super fun, okay? So today I'm gonna make a totally scrappy block because that's what I like to do. But maybe you could use the Happy Couples wedding colors or any colorway that you choose, all right? So there's the pattern. It only has 4 blocks that you need. And I'm gonna show you how to lay down your fabric and how to piece your arc together, okay? Before I do that, guess what? Tuesday, June 7th at 12 noon Central Time, Emily is joining me. I know. We together are going to launch the June Die to Try. It's a secret, so don't say anything.
No, I'm so excited about it though. I feel like you know, we're stepping up a little bit. I'm moving up in the world.
Okay, and just so you know, when we do that show, you have to stand on my left.
Okay, is that the good
I don't
sign?
know how to do it if somebody stands on my right, so you have to stand on the left.
Okay.
But be sure to register for the event because we're going to give away some prizes. So join Emily and I on Tuesday. All right, so let's talk about this die. Oh, I'm so happy that we're making it. Okay, now I wrote myself some sticky notes. And because there's a pattern on the website that makes a Go Double Wedding Ring table runner. And I have found that that table runner has better instructions than this particular pattern, okay?
Gotcha.
So just go to the double wedding ring pattern, okay? All right, so now, oh, these are so I don't forget. Okay, so this is that shape D, which is that melon shape, which is right here, okay? For this little arc, you're gonna need 3 of shape Ds, 1, 2, 3, and then this is shape E, and this is shape B, okay? So you need 3 of these. Emily, how many layers of fabric can we cut in one pass?
Up to 6 layers
Up
of
to
cotton.
6, so look at that. I have 6 layers.
Well, there you go.
I know.
Love it.
And again, I'm making mine totally scrappy. This was fabric from my Exploding Heart quilt.
Really?
Yeah, it makes me happy to
funny.
use it again, okay?
Well, and okay, the fun thing too, we actually have a blog about this die on AccuQuilt.com.
Really?
Yeah, we sure do. It's from like a couple years ago, but it goes into the history of it. In fact, you know, speaking of scrappy, they used to use scraps from the Depression era to.
Yes.
That was like a big, you know, this was a big pattern during.
Yeah,
that
there
time.
was no going to the fabric store and buying grunge.
No, there sure wasn't.
No, it was just, you know, dresses and shirts and those kind of things.
Yeah,
So,
that's such a historical block.
I know, I love it.
So cool.
Now, this is shape E. Oh, here, notches.
Yeah.
Notches, notches, notches to help you line up your pieces. Now you're going to notice, quilters, that there is no notch on the outside of shape E. That is because this goes on the outside right here, and this notch lines up with those 3 little shapes in the center. So one color needs to face up and one color needs to face down, because on mine I made them scrappy.
Sure, sure.
See how that is?
Yes.
Because then if you have them both up and down, or if you have them all up, you're not going to have a left and a right.
Right, right. So that's a fan folding that fabric.
So
moment.
those of you keeping score, that's what you want to do. And this video lives on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel, so you can totally come back and watch it again, okay?
absolutely.
And notice, quilters, this fabric is facing up, this fabric is facing down. I wrote myself a sticky note,
Absolutely.
okay? And then this is shape B, and I want them to be the same, so I just used the same scrappy fabric that I did before, okay?
And just to clarify for Miss Julie, the Go Big version is 1 die, correct?
Yes. As I'm looking
If I'm
on the wall.
remembering that correctly.
Yes.
The Go version is the 2 die set,
Right.
whereas the Go Big, it will cut it in 1 pass.
Right, right. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to put a mat on it, and you notice I didn't cut the solid arc. I'm going to talk about that in a second. All right, now before we're going to cut this here, ooh, I'm going to use my Go Big. Emily, can you tell us, are people looking for summer weddings?
They surely are, yes. They're looking forward to, Teresa has a grandson in November. Peggy's granddaughter is getting married July 15th.
Yay!
So exciting. Janelle is going to one next July, next year. And then Barbara.
I love that people know that next year they're going places.
I know, seriously.
Maybe they're
that's
like
awesome.
destination weddings or something.
Right?
I don't know.
I love weddings. They're just such a blast.
Okay. All right. So now I have all of my pieces cut. All right. And before I start pressing them together, I'm going to take them off my little thing right here. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to give you my pro tip. Now, see this solid arc? This is exactly how big these shapes sewn together needs to be. So here's my little pro tip. Take some little cardstock. Here we go. And cut you one. Okay? It's paper, folks. It's okay that I do this.
Go.
Okay? All right. Now, while I am cutting this, boy, is it staticky here in the Dream Studio. See, it can cut paper. It's not like scissors. It's not going to dull your blades.
Exactly.
Okay?
And you cut craft foam, all sorts of different.
Craft foam, one of my favorite things to cut. So now I have a little template, right, of how big my arc needs to be. So if it's not perfect like that, then I need to adjust my seam allowance. Maybe I'm not sewing a perfect 1/4 inch seam. Okay? All right, so we're going to sew some of these together, okay? But before we do, we need to talk. Emily was gone last Wednesday, and we talked about Quilts of Valor.
Yes.
And we talked about all the people who donate to Quilts of Valor. And Bonnie sent us an email and said, hey, she belongs to Quilts of Honor, which is a separate organization, and it also honors vets. And Bonnie said that she and her group had made over 100 quilts and donated them to Quilts of Honor. And Eric and I had never heard of that organization. So if you watched the show last week and you were curious, check it out on their website. Okay? So kudos to all of you who belong to these great organizations that are donating quilts.
Yeah, it's
okay?
amazing.
All right, now, here we go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create this arc and this arc are the same 5 fabrics, okay? So I'm gonna lay them out just like this, okay?
Yes. I'm looking at all the fun weddings that are coming up too. My goodness, so many weddings.
So many fun. Okay, so see how this is? And look, right here, there's notches here, there's none notches here.
Yes.
So that's how you know it goes on the outside. Sometimes at AccuQuilt, we're just brilliant. Okay? All right, so while I sew my little sections together, and I'm just gonna chain piece for days.
Love it.
Okay? And Emily's gonna tell us about people in their weddings. I'm excited about it.
Absolutely, yeah. Alicia says she has a niece getting married in September.
Okay.
Well, I wonder where all these weddings are going to be taking
I know.
place. I want to know where she's getting married, Alicia. Noreen, my nephew got married Saturday. Oh, congratulations.
Congratulations, Noreen.
That is so exciting. Yeah, this weekend would have been a beautiful.
I was going to say, I had some friends and their son, I have some friends, they're still my friends, and their son got married over the weekend as well in Florida.
Oh, that's awesome.
And apparently it was a beautiful day because I feel like once June hits in Florida, it is so humid. Holy smokes. Okay, so now I'm just chain piecing my sections together. All right, where else are people doing weddings? Or if you have questions about the double wedding ring die, be sure and ask Emily.
Well, we do have a little bit as well. Actually, Villa wanted to say that she's so glad we're doing this pattern today. She just bought the double wedding ring and
Yes.
And oh, she actually just bought a double wedding ring hand stitched from her aunt to have as a keepsake.
Oh my goodness.
Oh wow, hand stitching that.
Hand
Well
stitching is
done.
amazing.
That is amazing.
Wow, that's impressive.
I love this. So Katie says, I get married on 11/11/22. Fiance wanted an 11 in the date since kids each have an 11 in their date, and it's his number.
That's our Katie. She gets married on the 11/11. I knew that.
Exactly. Yep. So she said he should never forget our anniversary.
Katie, I agree. That's Katie who does so much work on our events. And
Yeah,
she's
Katie's
getting married. I know. I knew she would comment, so I didn't talk about her because I knew she would talk. I'm excited. That will be a fun day. Except, okay, I have to just say I'm a little stressed about it because if Katie's not here, then Joe has to be in charge of all the things. So maybe Joe should be stressed, not me. All right, so look at how this is going. See, look.
Oh my gosh.
I know, it all works amazing.
Sweet.
There you go. All right, and don't forget, we have tons of like fun new, we have pins and bindy clippies and irons and new rulers. We're gonna use one of our new rulers
So many
to
new
mark
rulers.
our pieces.
Oh, it's so exciting.
Yep, hold on here.
I just ordered and received finally my I've been putting it off for so long, but I finally ordered the shovel iron. I was having the hardest time deciding between the two.
And you got the shovel iron.
It has made all the difference.
You and I had a little talk about pressing, didn't we?
We had to have a little bit of a heart-to-heart about that, Pam. Yes, I do.
We did, but it was okay because you didn't know. You didn't know that you have to press to make it perfect.
Exactly. I was more like ironing than pressing, which I'm sure all of our quilters are cringing in their seats right now just thinking about it.
No, we all started like that. We all had to have a starting point where we thought, oh, I really need to press things? What?
Exactly.
What is that?
Exactly.
What does that mean? Okay. All right. Now, see, here's my little arc. I am going to sew these together. And look, every time I'm sewing them together, I am lining up those little notches. Because look how perfect they line up together.
Yeah.
Little notches.
It's like you thought you were sewing a super curved piece, but it really just makes it
It's so easy.
so easy, yeah.
And I have to tell you, though, when I was sewing this, because like I said, I'd never made a pieced one before, I was a little nervous. So I didn't watch TV or anything. I just paid attention to what I was doing.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes I get involved in a little television and then it just all goes crazy after that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, so look at this. And I'm doing a 1/4 inch seam. Okay.
Now this is sweet. Paula says she doesn't have weddings in the future, but has both the go and the big dies. So she's going to start one just to have on hand.
Okay,
for the future.
I think you could just make a scrappy one.
I think that's
like
so
a table
smart.
runner or something. That would be really
Absolutely.
fun.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, now I have my little arc sewn. Look at this. Okay, so now I'm going to press to one direction, which has nothing to do with a musical group. Okay. All right. So while I'm pressing these, the question quilters ask is, truly, why is AccuQuilt fabric cutter better than rotary cutting? Okay, Emily, we counted. Were there really 53 pieces in a block? I think that was maybe the answer.
I think so. Yeah, it was.
So imagine cutting these and giving it a little notch and cutting off the dog ears and all the things that AccuQuilt does and trying to create this block by hand.
Yeah.
This is a block that you would use, most of the people use like paper templates or sometimes paper piecing.
Sure.
There's some rulers out there, but I don't find that rulers are very accurate, where ours is going to be accurate every single time.
100%. Yeah.
Okay, so I've pressed to one side, and now look, I can lay this on here. I can line up my center notches, and look, my pieces match.
Perfect.
All about the match. Okay.
Wow.
Now, if I was off a little bit, then I wouldn't necessarily re-sew it, but you could maybe, like if you needed to adjust this little seam right there, you could just press it, right? Because you're not going to have big gaps. You just want to make sure that it matches.
Oh, that's perfect.
Okay. All right, don't forget about our bundles. The Go Emojis Crazy Bundle is sure to give you heart eyes. It includes the emojis die, 3 circles, all of the variety of circles starting from 1/2 inch all the way up to 5 inches, and a 6x12 cutting mat. And this is a great, another bundle that we have on our website. And let me just tell you, cutting circles by hand is silly.
Absolutely.
Okay? Just, there is a die for that, okay? And don't forget, today I'm giving away one of our Go wedding ring dies. Be sure to register for future events on the AccuQuilt event page for your chance to win. All right, now, this part's super easy. Everybody's with me, right? Okay, when you read the instructions, it's gonna tell you when you add shape B, I do love this, by the way. When you add shape B, you need to stop a 1/4 inch from each, from the end, okay? And Emily, when I read it, I thought, what? Why do I have to do that?
No, I'm kind of waiting and watching to see how this works.
And the answer is because when we sew the block together, we're going to sew the small arc to the melon shape, right?
Right.
And then we're going to stop right here at a 1/4 inch. And basically, we're going to kind of do like a Y seam.
Oh, okay.
And then you're going to fold it here and then be able to stitch. And then it will lay flat. If you just go willy-nilly and sew it, it's not going to work. There's not going to be enough 1/4 inch there.
Yeah.
I know, right? Okay,
Now
so
I see
I
it.
have my little piece here, and I have a little, hey, where did my little blue pen go? Do we have, just, Emily, talk about weddings while I find my blue pen. It was right here.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've got so many weddings.
I got one.
Okay, so we have Cheryl has a nephew getting married in Bethlehem, PA. Oh, Christmas City in November.
Oh, that sounds fun.
That would be so much fun.
That would be fun.
Love that. And then I'm trying to see, I think we had a couple of questions as well. Oh, we're wondering about the binding of a double wedding ring. Any
We'll talk
tips?
about it when we're all done.
Yeah, when we're all done, let's talk about that a little bit.
All right, so I found a pen. I think the other one must have rolled on the floor somewhere. We have these marking pens, fabric marking pens on our website. And this is one of our new 1x6 rulers. And these are also available on our website. Hey, are those bundles still available, Emily?
They surely are. Yeah, we have some really fabulous ruler bundles right now.
I get you some rulers.
Let me pull them up because, yeah, we've got the Quilting Rulers Complete Bundle. It's only $52.80, and you get 4 sizes of rulers, including the 4.5 by 4.5, the 1x6, the 6x12, and the 12x12. Which
See, that's what you need.
I think that's a really great starter.
Yeah, I
way
think
to
so,
start
too.
out. Yeah.
So I'm just marking my 1/4 inch from both sides because when I go to sew it, I need it for both sides. And then look, gosh, it's too bad it wasn't last week when Erica was here. I'm going to pin.
She would be so proud.
I know she would be. And we have pins on our website. Ooh, and we have
do.
these cool little clips, these little bindy clips.
Yes, we've got
We use them a lot.
They're like flower head pins, which is
Yes.
so cute.
So when I sew, I'm going to sew from this 1/4 inch seam to this 1/4 inch seam, and then I'm going to stop.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll do it here. Oh, maybe this one will have be easier to see. Sorry about that, Justin. My fabric was not very light.
We'll do both.
Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to come from a 1/4 inch. Okay, I'm going to take my pen, and I'm going to just mark. Oh, that one's easier to see. Look at that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that makes life just a whole lot easier, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
there
this
we go.
is the washable, right? Or it's heat
Yeah, just
remove?
washable. Actually, it just fades with time.
That's so cool.
So finish your projects before the fabric fade
Yeah.
or the pins fade
It's
or
like
the
disappearing ink.
yeah, the disappearing ink. Okay, so I'm going to pin it here. Okay. All right, are we good? All right, now we're gonna start, and we're gonna start and stop at that 1/4 inch mark. All right, Emily, do people have questions, and then are people getting married?
Yes. Well, and we also, I think folks are having a little bit, they need to confirm again the differences between the two dies, the two versions of the Go Big die, or the double wedding ring die.
Okay, what's the question?
I think
people?
we just need to elaborate on the difference between the two different dies. So for the Go cutter.
Hey, do we have a Go Big one over there? Over there. Producer Joe is going to leave his camera, and he is going to go see if we have a Go Big double.
Yeah, that way
Go
we
Big
can,
double wedding ring die
we
over
can
there.
compare the two.
Yes, compare and contrast.
Yes.
Do you remember that, like in school? Compare and contrast.
Absolutely. I do remember off the top of my head.
Do we have the packaging, Joe?
Yeah. And I
Okay.
do know that with
Yep.
perfect.
Yep. Thank you.
So with
See, look, Producer Joe. He just.
I know
all the
he's
things.
just always ready
Okay.
to go.
All right, so here we go. So here is the Go Big double wedding ring, okay? So this makes a 12.5-inch finished block, and the Go version makes an 11.5-inch finished block, okay? And this is the Go Big version, and it has all of the shapes that you need to piece it, and it's just on one die board, okay?
Correct.
And then the Go version has the smaller block, has the solid arc, the pieced arc, and it's a 2-die set.
Right.
Okay, so just keep that all in mind, people. Okay, and I'm going to tell you both of them, how you put them together to do a piece like this, or even the solid, is going to be the same.
Right.
Okay, you're going to follow the pattern. You're going to piece the pieces together. When you come here to the corners, you're going to stop 1/4 inch. Okay, just like I have here. Okay, so how you put the block together isn't different, regardless of whether it's for the Go or the Go Big. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to take out my little pins, because I have stopped sewing. So look, see, there's a little gap right here. Mind the gap, okay? And then I'm going to press towards those squares, which are on the edge. That is a screaming hot iron. Holy smokes.
Actually, someone's wondering, what heat setting do you put it on? High.
Yeah. And when I'm at home, okay, last night, I'm working on this Arkansas Traveler quilt. And
yeah, you posted that. That looks
it is really,
beautiful.
really fun. And for that one, I use steam because I'm pressing my seams open, you know, and I'm finishing my blocks.
Right.
And boy, when you're using steam on high, you're filling that little water quite a bit. Okay. All right, so here we go. Look, we have 2 different arcs.
Perfect.
Thank you, Brock. Okay, now, here we go next. So again, I have shape C, which is this little part right here, okay? And I'm actually on the bottom, so here's the top of the fabric, here's the back of the fabric. This is where I'm gonna mark a 1/4 inch seam, because when I sew this, I'm actually going to make sure that the solid piece is on top, because the dog feeds on my machine will be able to bring that easy to the back to match.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Okay, so I need to stop at a 1/4 inch. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to come right here to a 1/4 inch. Get my little marker. Okay.
That 1x6 is just the perfect little size too for
darling.
this. It's so cute.
Okay, I have all the sizes, and Oakley was with me on Sunday, and she was helping me work on a top secret project. And we had our little rulers out, and she just thought that was super cool. She's like, this one's really cute, Lola, and she was just playing with it and having a
Aw.
great time. I was like, yes, indeed. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna line up the notches, okay? We're gonna pin it. Get your pins online, okay? And then we're gonna start right here. And what I like to do is I like to put a pin right there where that little mark is so that I know that's where I'm gonna start, okay? And then as we come here to the other side, I'm gonna put a pin so I know that's where I'm gonna stop, okay? Ooh, that pin is bent, okay? Take your time. When I did my first practice one, it took me a minute. And you're gonna look at this and go, Pam, this isn't gonna work. Surely it will, okay? So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna lay it flat and we're gonna make sure that, look at, see?
There it goes.
It's gonna line up perfectly. I know, in your head you think, oh, this is not gonna work, but in fact, it does. Just take your time, okay?
And Kathy's wondering too, since you're about to sew, when you stop at that 1/4 inch, do you backtrack at all?
Backstitch, yeah, I do.
Okay. Okay.
I do. And the reason I backstitch is because I really want to make sure that seam stays there. Okay? Don't break a pin.
Right.
Okay, here we
Brenda's
go.
wondering why the solid arc is not included with the Go Big die. Seems like it would be quite useful.
It just isn't. It's just not on the space.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I think because they were trying to get all of the whole die, all of the pieces onto one die for the Go Big.
Right.
And,
Right.
Yeah, probably.
And yeah. I'm going to tell you, quilters, the scrappy one is super easy. And what a great way to like bust up your scraps.
Absolutely.
Because you just need these tiny little pieces.
Seriously.
Okay, look, ready? So I'm coming right here to the end. Oh, did you hear me? Ooh.
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 Oh.
Okay. Holy
Ooh, Crystal has a
smokes.
great question. Speaking of ironing and pressing,
Look at this.
what's the difference when you press? Ooh,
Oh,
look at
okay, Emily, you know the difference. So
I
it's going to naturally want to go towards this little mullen shape, and who am I to fight with fabric? So I am going to just press it towards the melon shape.
Yeah, why
Okay,
not?
tell everybody what's the difference between pressing and ironing.
Well, pressing is more like a gentle, like, you know, to just go over the seams and make sure that they're pressed open. Ironing is like, you know,
You
you
do
get
to
your
a
big old
shirt.
iron and shirt. Yeah, it's kind of like just a constant movement, and you can really kind of mess things up that way. And I had to discover that the hard way. So, yes, please, quilters, don't do
Yes.
like I did.
Just be gentle. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. Okay, so now I have 1/2 of my little arc done. So now I'm going to take my other piece. See, it's going to work. I promise. Okay, so now I'm going to do the exact same thing. I am going to come here.
It's amazing how like it looks so complicated, but then when you put it together with the pins, it's like magic. This is quilting magic, Pam.
Right, right. So here's my little 1/4 inch seam marks, right? Okay, so see how it all is gonna line up. So I'm gonna do it on this way, okay? And then I'll know to stop. So I'm gonna put my little pin in the center. And listen, I am totally keeping track of my pins.
Oh, and I love this idea Noreen has about doing like a rainbow over a rainbow arc, like, you know, scrappy rainbow.
Oh,
going
yeah,
around in
yeah,
a
yeah.
circle. That'd be pretty.
Okay.
Okay, we're coming into Pride Month. Maybe do a rainbow double
I
wedding
think
ring.
that is June. June is here. We're already here and there.
We
Isn't
are.
it not
That's
June
right. It's
1st?
June 1st. Oh, it's my dad's birthday today too.
Happy birthday, Emily's
Happy
dad.
birthday, Dad.
Okay, so I'm gonna come right here, see? Where that 1/4 inch seam is marked? Okay, And I'm going to put a little pin in there so I know to start and stop there. My dad is watching. He is pretty funny.
Yeah.
He doesn't like change, and so a couple of weeks ago when Erica was here, he sent me a text. He's like, "Who is that lady?" And I was like, "That's Erica." And he goes, "Where were you?" And I said, "I was traveling, Dad." So he likes to watch it.
I love it. He's your biggest fan. That's
He is. He and all the his friends at the retirement center watch. Okay, so look right here. I got to pay attention and not talk about my dad.
Sure.
And we're gonna put a pin so we know to stop there. Super important to know to stop there. Okay. Okay, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to take it easy. Okay. So now we're going to start there. All right, Emily, while I'm stitching, tell us if people are going to weddings and if they have questions about the double wedding ring.
Absolutely. Let's see. Marilyn, I am wedding free this year, but I made 3 king-size quilts for 2 grandsons and my son's weddings when they had that.
Oh, you get to have a year off then.
Yeah, you get a break.
I feel like if you're making king-size quilts,
Absolutely.
you just get to have the year off.
Yes, absolutely. Let's see. Sherry says, no weddings in my future, but I love to watch because I learned so many awesome tricks of the trade. Love that. Peggy's son is getting married this year and was thinking of making this, but looks difficult. But hopefully,
Peggy, is not.
I know, Peggy. We're making. This is why we're doing this.
Peggy, this is why we're making it, so you can make it.
Exactly. We're breaking it down.
Classic double wedding ring, DWR.
Exactly.
Okay, I feel like Emily will do a TikTok about that or something with the DWR.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I know. Maybe I'll have to do one where it's just
yesterday while I was sewing, I can't just sew. I have to have something on.
Absolutely.
I was watching, I can tell you this. I was watching Trolls World Tour, which is a great little animated movie because Oakley had bought it over the weekend and she rented it on Amazon Prime or whatever. And so I was watching it. I thought, I will watch Trolls. It was really fun.
Love that.
Okay, now look.
Oh, how
You're all stressed, right? Because, hang on here, I'm going to fix this. You're all stressed because there's a gap here in the end, but I'm going to show you how to fix it.
Oh.
This to me, quilters, was just like a priceless. Okay, so now we stop sewing right there. Now we can take this, and now we can stitch our corners together. Okay, so look, see right there we stopped sewing. So now we can stitch from here to here. It's kind of like a gentle inset seam, okay? But it's not hard at all, and then it will lay flat. So watch this. It was just brilliant.
Love this.
And I tell you, it wasn't, once you do one, forever you'll go, now I know how to sew double wedding ring.
Absolutely.
It really is amazing. Okay, and then I'm going to back stitch.
I know. I'm currently making the, it's the Crazy Quilt stained glass table runner for my uncle. And I was chatting with a friend of the family who happens to quilt as well, but does it by hand, and was saying she was creating a Crazy Quilt by hand.
Oh, yeah.
And as soon as I told her about AccuQuilt, she was like, oh, well, clearly I need to.
Yes, clearly there is a die for that.
Because she's cut, I don't know how many, dozens of pieces she said she's done already, but it just,
Yeah.
she's very excited to get started with AccuQuilt. So.
Okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to line up this section, which is shape B, right? I stopped sewing right there. So now I can start here and see, there's that little inset. It's just going to work, I promise you. And when I did it the first time, I thought, oh, dang, this was not as scary as I thought it was going to be. So don't be scared, quilters. It's like curves. I feel like quilters get a little nervous about curves. Don't be scared of curves.
Absolutely. Let's see. Oh, I love this. So we've got some more folks going to weddings. Oh, that's right. Our Danielle is getting married in September as well.
See, all of our team. Thanks for watching, team, by the way.
Goodness, I love it so
Okay,
much.
so look at this. So now I'm going to lay this and press it flat. Where did my seam go? There it goes. Okay. And
This is so pretty.
it's just so easy. Okay, look at that. And look, ta-da. All right, so don't forget, quilters, all of our YouTube, or all of our videos live in our Facebook and YouTube pages, so you can come back and watch one if you need to, like this one. All right, so Emily, real quick, tell everybody about our blog.
Yes, we have the best blog ever. It has exclusive patterns that you can only find there. Such interesting subject matters. Like today, let's see, we have a blog today about, or from the 29th about quilt of valor patterns. We have scrap busting and making collage quilts right now. There's, you know,
So fun.
ways to use the fusible and the new fusible products we have. So there's just tons of tips and tricks in there that our go-getters are writing.
Just amazing.
It's really great, yeah.
Yep. All right, now let's cut a shape A. And I'm gonna make it purple. White seemed a little boring. Well, it was all. So shape A, again, it's on a 10 by 10 die board. Use a 10 by 10 mat. And if I were doing this, if I were making the pattern that just had 4 blocks, I would just cut 4 of shape A. And I think that quilters it's a little intimidating. Sometimes you think, oh, I'm gonna make this double wedding ring quilt. It's gonna have, 20 blocks in it. No, maybe make like a bed runner that has 6 of them.
There you
Or a table runner, I mean, I think that that's kind of fun, okay? Give it some love, slide, don't lift. There we go.
Yes.
Okay,
And I love big blocks, how they just come together so quickly. Like,
yeah.
it's just great. That's why I'm excited about my Storm at Sea I'm working on right now. I was so sorry to miss that last week when you were
Storm
working
at Sea,
on
one of my
that.
favorites.
So good.
Okay, all of you are now stressed, aren't you? You're gonna say to me, Pam, this doesn't work. Okay, we're gonna do the exact same thing where we mark our 1/4 of an inch from the edge, because we're gonna sew this. We're gonna stop, and then you can add this one, stop at the 1/4 inch,
Okay.
sew it together.
Wow.
I know. When I first made one, I thought, oh, I have done this all wrong. But no, you haven't. Okay? It's just it's so easy. All right, so here is our 1/4 of an inch. We're going to mark it. Okay? And then here's our 1/4 of an inch. We're going to mark it.
Love that. I was reading a little bit too that apparently it was considered extremely good luck if a married couple spent their first night under a double wedding ring quilt.
Ah, there you go.
Sweet.
That is sweet. Okay, I'm just going to mark all 4 corners, because we're going to sew both the sides together, and then you will go, oh, this makes sense, man.
Absolutely.
I'm really excited about this. All right, and don't forget, if you have questions, you ask Miss Emily.
Yes, please.
All right. So
Oh,
now,
actually, Dana is wondering,
Tina,
can the small pieces of the curve be cut from a jelly roll?
let's take one of our new rulers and measure.
Gotta love it.
I'm so sorry. I measured from the wrong side. So do you know how wide a jelly roll is?
A jelly roll? Oh gosh, I'm gonna look like a fool if I even guess.
2.5 inches. Yes, you can cut all the shapes from a jelly roll.
Perfect.
Including center C.
Hooray!
great question.
That is a great question. Ooh, and a couple of folks are actually wondering if we don't want to do a curved binding, is there a way to make a straight edge or a different edge?
So the answer to that is no, because otherwise you have to chop it off.
I was going to say you'd almost have to just take a ruler and just slice it all the way up the
Yeah.
top.
Yep. Okay, I'm going to do the exact same thing, quilters. I'm going to come right here to the end. I'm going to take my pin. I'm going to pin it. I'm going to stop because you're going to put those two blocks together at the intersection. There you go. I'm going to come right here. Okay? It just is amazing to me how fast and easy it works together. Okay? Okay, so while I'm doing this, bias binding. Bias binding, we have a video on YouTube, I'm sure,
Oh, absolutely.
that shows you you have to fold your fabric differently to create bias binding. Normally you just cut with the fabric strips, but with bias binding you do it a little bit different. Hold on, I've really got to make sure this works. I can't really talk.
It looks like
while
they're
I'm-
saying, the viewers are saying that the sides are being pinned together on the wrong way.
Oh. See?
Look at our viewers.
I was not paying attention there. See, look. I was
Jody
like,
and
something
Karen
is
just
wrong here.
Totally.
There we go. Thank you,
go.
viewers.
Yay, thank you, viewers. Thanks, Jody
It's
and
like,
Karen.
this is not going to work. And now I know why. Goodness gracious. Okay.
There we go.
This is what happens when I try to talk. Okay. So bias binding is the answer. It's going to, you have to lay your fabric down differently. It's going to create that bias edge so it's nice and stretchy so that it goes around the curves. And the great thing about double wedding ring is that the curves can be gentle, you know, but when you come to the center, you're gonna just stop and go off like a quarter of an inch like you normally do, and then just keep going around the curves. One day when I have nothing else to do, I am gonna make a little video on how to sew a bias binding, because we have lots of videos on how to cut one.
We sure do.
Okay, so thank you to everybody who was showing me, because in my head I was like, this is not right, and it wasn't, so thank you.
Oh, we have a really great question too.
Okay, tell me.
So Bonnie is wondering how the Go die compares with the Studio double wedding ring.
Okay, so I was waiting for somebody to talk about that. So quilters, we have a third machine called a Studio fabric cutter. It's our industrial machine. It has different dies than Go dies, though you can use Go dies on your Studio cutter. And I'm going to tell you, I don't know the difference other than with the Studio, you can cut more layers.
And I have the dimension of the Studio double wedding ring. It does still have a 12.5 finish.
Right, but does it have a solid arc?
So actually you have options. So
Yeah.
the 5 die set comes with the pieced arc. However, there is an optional solid arc that you can purchase on the side if that is the design that you're wanting to choose.
And I never, ever, ever talk about Studio dies on this show because 99% of you own a Go or a Go Big, and those Studio dies will not fit in your Go or your Go Big. Okay? So, yes, we do have another version for the Studio. And I was just waiting for someone to say that. Okay, so thank you for teaching me, you know, how to sew my fabric right. Okay, so here's this section. Oh, look, we're going to be able to do it before our hour is up. Whew, I'm really excited about that.
Oh, this
All right,
is awesome.
so we're going to press towards shape A. Okay. Okay.
Is the 1/4 inch dot that you marked on top of that seam allowance of the melon piece?
The 1/4 inch dot came from the end of the melon piece.
Gotcha.
Okay. Okay. All right, so now look.
Ooh, pretty.
It's all coming together. Okay?
Laura's actually wondering too, do you make continuous bias binding?
Do I make, yes,
Yes.
yes.
Very cool.
I mean, it cuts in little pieces, but you can sew them all together to make continuous, yes.
Oh, sure, sure.
Is the answer I think you're looking for. Okay. So now I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to line up the notches. I'm going to sew on the correct side because you people are brilliant. Okay? And I'm going to come right here.
This is going to turn out so fun. Let me see
No,
what other
right
weddings
here.
we have.
And I'm going to pin because I can see my little dot on the other side. I'm going to pin so I know where to start and stop.
Oh, wow. So Janelle, her son is in the Army in Germany and got married there last month. Next year here in Pennsylvania, they're going to visit.
Oh,
and do
congratulations.
A big party. That's so exciting.
That is so fun. I do love a good party.
Ooh, and Donna's husband, so he officiates. So he's performing 2 weddings in June. Okay, get this. He's a reverend and a tattoo artist. What a combination. I love that.
Okay, I have a son who's a tattoo artist. I should tell him he should be a minister.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, hold on. I just got to make sure all of my pieces are pinned in the right place.
Oh, and Wendy has a fall wedding to attend. She's making the exploding heart quilt, and
Yes.
happy she gets to use for all of the cutting.
Yes.
That'll make
Oh my word,
so
because
much
trying to
easier.
cut half square triangles and quarter square triangles by hand, way too much work
Yeah,
for me.
absolutely not.
Way too much work for me. All right, so now I'm gonna make sure that I have everything laying flat, because I don't want the underneath piece to buckle. I'm gonna back stitch. I am almost done, quilters.
So you know how you stop at the 1/4 inch? You know how you back up and leave that space? Could you stop at a 1/4 inch and pivot instead of stopping?
I don't know.
Okay.
I start, and then when I get to I start at the 1/4 inch seam, I do a few stitches, I stop, and then I back stitch,
Okay, gotcha.
if that answers the question.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and this is really truly where you do not want to be watching TV, because you want to make sure everything's laying flat, and that you get to the end and you stop at a 1/4 inch seam.
Is
Right here.
there a particular weight of thread you're using to make this pattern today,
I got
Pam?
nothing. I mean, I can tell you in a second. Yeah, we can tell you. Okay.
I know it's Aurifil if I'm remembering that
Yeah, and I think it's
correctly.
50 weight, but I can look. Okay. So now I'm going to pull my pins out. I think I pulled my other one out already. I did.
Oh, how
Oh,
pretty.
see, now I can take this. Now, see right there? I can take this and I can fold this over
Oh, wow.
and I can stitch from here to here. I'm going to fix that. Do I have a minute? I do. I have 1 minute. I can fix it. Okay, before we do this, okay, so we're going to finish doing all the stuff while I sew this. Okay, so go ahead, Brock. You would finish to follow all of the pattern because my little 1/4 inch seam didn't stop right. And I want it to be perfect. Hey, and don't forget to join Emily and I on Tuesday, June 7th, as we launch the June Dry to Try. It's going to be super fun. Register to be eligible to win prizes. And be sure to check out the Go Emojis bundle. Our last bundle will sure to leave you starstruck. The Go Emojis cutter Bundle includes the Go Emojis die and that cute little Go Me. All right.
Absolutely. And it's so close to that threshold, that $225 net total, you'll get free shipping within the contiguous US.
There you go. Okay, I'm gonna stop right here and fix this. All right, Emily, while I'm fixing this, will you announce our winner?
Yes, absolutely. So our lucky winner
There we go.
today, drum roll please. Our winner is Janet E. from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yay, congratulations. We hope you have weddings to go to. That will be fun.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm almost done here. I'm gonna sew this 3 stitches here.
Excellent.
And then next week, Emily, we are making the a project using our new die to try.
Our new die to
okay,
try.
so
I'm
look, I
excited.
fixed it.
That is
So
going to
now it's gonna lay flat. So now I can take these 2 pieces and sew my 1/4 inch seam.
Yeah, we're gonna
so
have
great.
We're gonna have a good old time next week. I'm excited.
We are, and then you and I will be here on Wednesday together talking about that new die.
I know.
It'll be great.
It'll be really, really fun. Yeah.
Be sure and register though, that way you'll win prizes.
Seriously, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Because you never know what that die to try is gonna be.
Oh, look at this. Okay, so now what you can do is take your little iron. I'm gonna press it flat with my big iron. Okay, but you want to make sure that you stop. I'm going to stop right here. Now you'll notice that the Go version is a little bit oblong, okay, and that's how it's supposed to look. Okay, it's not quite round, so it's a little bit oblong. The Go Big version is more rounded.
Sure. Okay.
And then you would follow the pattern to complete putting the sides on. Okay.
So pretty.
It's super easy. Make a test block. Try it. It'll be super fun. All right. Look at this, being on time. On behalf of our entire team, offsite we have Morgan and Lauren who are helping today. In the studio we have Brock and Justin and Joe, and of course Emily. I am Pam Heller, reminding you at AccuQuilt we help you cut time so you can quote more. We'll see you on Tuesday.